Hello everyone and welcome back to EVE Market, your weekly look at the amarr market. Not really anything to report. I'm working on 2 new videos from EVE Online. Only problem I'm running into is recording issues. I'm recording the first one I'm making. I'm not gonna say what it is about. I'm recording short videos of 30 seconds. For some reason Windows is not speeding up my videos for some reason, twice the speed. I don't know why exactly. It's somewhere in the FPS recording problem. I'm using Action for this, recording in 4K. These videos will be coming out in 4K if I get it fixed. In 60 FPS, but the 60 FPS is speeding up the videos twice the speed, and when I record at 30 FPS they're fine. So don't know when they're come out, when I get this problem fixed too, so I can bring them out in 4K 60 FPS. Still working on that. Hope this problem is gonna get fixed soon. I will bring out videos in 4K from EVE. But we are here for the market. We're gonna start here off with titanium, because this is already bringing us up like a minute or 1.5 minutes into the video. We're gonna start off with titanium. Titanium seems to be slightly going up in price here for the last 3 days. Not doing too much really at the movements. Okay, skill is up slightly. You can see it a little bit better. See the lowest price it was here. It came down to about 3 here. That's what it shows us. About 3.8 looks like it here. That was the lowest we got, and now we're climbing back up. We're still sitting in the 4-ish range. I think this is not a bad price where titanium is sitting. Of course, all the mines would like to see how high the price, the better. Well, my maximum, if that price is still good. So titanium making a slight uptrend in price, but not a huge amount really. There is 22 million coming in next door at 4.38. But here in the system you pay about 4.45. It's almost 10 cents higher on this. For the buys, 4.12 on that. It's not too bad price. We can go down quite quickly on the price here. Alright, yeah, got a quite bad data. Hope my graph is staying like this, not anything get sold. Ferrite is still on the downtrend on price, making by the way a huge drop today here on the Friday, down to it still says 5. Looks like we're heading a little bit to the 5.5 for the prices here on ferrite. Ferrite is making quite of a nosedive, but it basically has been going down pretty much for the whole week. We see 1-2 jumps up here towards the 6-ish. After that it starts dropping down again. For that. So ferrite still on the downtrend here. One order coming next door is quite small, 6.19 for the sellers here and 5.73 for the buyers. 5.70 in the statement. That one is 2 jumps range, so covers this system. Prices are quite dropping here for ferrite. And it's not gonna be a bad time to put up buy orders for ferrite, because this is a record bottom price for ferrite since 2015. So ferrite is at the moment at the lowest since the last just more than 2 years, at the lowest price it since has been. So really low price for ferrite. Well, let's see then about Maxlon. This one is going. Maxlon has the a little bit at the beginning of the week we still saw an uptrend in price. Came out quite high. Yeah, almost hitting the 80 for Maxlon. Then we took a nosedive down towards 76, 75 even. Took another bump up on that. For that 78, 77 I guess here. Now still 78. But after that, for the last 4 days, we've seen again a drop in the price of Maxlon. So it looks like we did hit the highest price for Maxlon here. I think there's more supply coming to the market now, and it's starting to put some pressure on the price and starting to drop. 73 here on the first day. Still today sitting at the 73 for that. We see also a really low price here. Someone has got in some stuff really cheap. If we took a look at this, someone bought in really badly for 200 per unit. That's incredibly high. The lowest we today had was 58. That was a pretty good buy for someone, but 200 was the highest and 58 the lowest, so that's quite of a big change in here. But let's look at the seller's price. We're seeing some millions coming in. Not a huge amount. I think that a lot of people are just mining Maxilon for a week, and then they think let's bring it to the market because price is high, so we're getting multiple small amounts coming in. 73.831 coming in next door. 74.99 in the market hub here itself for Maxilon on the seller side. On the buyer side, 72.13. We are making quite a drop on that, on the prices for Maxilon. Next up, hydrogen. Hydrogen, not really a huge amount of happening here this week. Seems to be slightly starting to go on the drop. We see here for 2 days in a row making a pretty decent drop, 48, 47. Then for the last 2 days we've seen the price is starting to go back up to 48, 49. For today a lot lower at 46 on the average price. Quite a big drop here. We see also like big lines from high prices. That's okay. Someone has been buying here for a really bad price. Highest price currently was 84, so that's quite a bad price, and 35 was the lowest for today at the moment. And we see quantities quite normal amounts in sold at the moment. So yeah, it's going a little bit ups and downs. I think give it a bigger chance that it's gonna go down in price. So I tried to go down here, called a little bit back up. Not towards the same price, but after that it made another pretty big nosedive. So we see still a bit of movement in here, but I think more it has a chance to go down on price. 47.88 for the sellers, not even anything next door yet, there's one there. For the buyers, 45.16. Then go on Noxium. Noxium still on the uptrend. It's quite of a long uptrend after a long downtrend we had. Still going up. You see pretty big sales on Noxium side. All the way managed to get a decent amount in. Here on one day we bumped up the average price to 378. Is this gonna be a prediction of that you're gonna go a lot higher on the Noxium price? Because this high price here on one day. Well, hopefully this may indicate we're gonna see a way uptrend in the price for Noxium. It has been basically had a few stable days, one lower day here, but on average it seems to try to push up in price. Expecting this one, since this high price is here, I think Noxium will go up more. I think main miners that were mining Noxium because it was good value always. Run through the stocks that they had lying around, and they all switched to more like to get Maxilon in, because that's a better value. Probably, I'm not sure if that's a better value for mining in high sec. They have switched to all the Maxilon, and now Noxium starting to run out. So, and Maxilon is getting oversupplied. Looks like it because the price is starting to drop. So, Noxium definitely still on the up on the price. 344.17 for sales next door, not quite a good amount. 358.85 here in the hub on the seller's price. On the buyer's price, 340.27. Definitely on the uptrend there. That's we're heading not pretty nicely up for the price on Noxium. Then we go more towards null-sec minerals for the Zynrid. See quite of ups and highs, ups and downs. on the prices for Zyanoid. Basically it's staying pretty much, the line staying pretty much flat. There's a very small downtrend on the price. See here at the end 5 and 20 averages getting really close together. Looks to be pretty balanced at the moment on demand and supply on there. 1111 on the sellers, just above 1000 for the buyers on that. So Zyanoid went slightly up on the buyer side. Next side. Also here not too much movement in. Also here a small downtrend on the price. It's just the 5-day average getting any more down towards the 20-day average. Well, that one is already going down too. We saw last week, at the end of last week, a little bit higher price. Also at the beginning of this week, and after that we've seen definitely we're starting to drop. Sales amounts looks quite normal. Quite low price here on the 28 at the 1400, and then here we are went slightly back up again and making a small downtrend and again back up. So sitting around the 1400, looks like it's trying to come down on price. We've seen here even million coming in. Quite large amounts of mega site coming towards the market on this, and a lot of orders are quite fresh, so there's quite a lot of pressure on the price. I think this price is definitely gonna go down more. On the seller side 1498 on the seller side and 1362 on the buyers. It's pretty much stayed the same, at least on there. Let's see what Morphyte is doing. Basically Morphyte is still not doing anything. It is trying to go down. We see 2 points lower prices here earlier this week on the 27, and yesterday at 9,000 it was 9,255. But for most of the week it's staying pretty much flat at just below the 10,000 mark on there, so still quite stable. But it looks like now and then some come to the market and push the price down. Might has a chance to go down on price. 9,894 on the sellers and 8,869 on the buyers. At least the buyers price has come down some on that. I'm gonna take a look at some salvage, regular salvage around this region. Armor plates did went up last week already, and the week before that we saw an uptrend in the price. Now for the last 3 days we've seen already a downtrend again on the price. Went quite nice up just above the 22,000. Pretty normal, pretty nice price for armor plates before the huge spike we had on that. Now we're coming down again, just above the 20,000 on average price. Pretty stable, normal price, I must say. We cannot see price that we were before anymore because it's already past a year. But if I look at my graph, on the lowest price that I ever had since 2015 was 16,000, so we're sitting slightly higher on that price. But yeah, 20,000 is quite a normal price for armor plates. For the sellers, let's go towards the 500, above the 500 units, 22,999 for the sellers and 19,800 currently for the buyers. It's quite dropping on the buyer side on the price, so we might get a dip on the price here. But Logic Circus also has been going down for quite a while, but you can see really a pattern in here. Makes it drop, crawls back up, less high than before, drops again quite quickly, comes back up again lower than the last time that was the high price. And see all the time the same graph happening. See also here again now, seeing the whole week price is starting to go up. This time it came almost back towards the normal price, and now it's making another drop just before the weekend. So again, probably see during the weekend again a lower price. You can also see a little bit on the graph, price comes on higher, sales starting to go up, price is dropping quickly, people are selling it, price then sales are starting to drop again, price going back up. So you can follow the line here exactly down. Sales are dropping, again price getting higher, sales starting to go up, and the price starts dropping again. But almost the same story here. See, price starting up, sales slowly starting to roll back up again, except here on the drop. Not really a spike on sale, but we definitely had that one here. And also here you can see prices were getting high, sales went up, price dropped. That's how it goes currently on the armor plates. If you have stuff lying around, you really need to keep a good eye on the market when the price starts to go up. Soon you think the price is reaching one of those points from the last one, you need to sell it. Current prices 48,899 for the sellers, 44,445 on the buyers for the burn logic circuits. It is still dropping here on price. Right, interface circuits. Quite stable for the whole week. Second whole week flat at the 6,000. You could clearly see last week we were lower at the 5,700, 5,800. And then suddenly made the jump up to the 6,000. Same for that, but quite of a drop here for today's price to 4,642. That's quite of a big drop on the price there. So quite a rapid drop. Keep an eye on during this weekend. Maybe you can may get some flight interface circuits in quite cheap here. And maybe at the end of the weekend you make a seller for a good price already. 5,600 currently for the sellers. Not too many orders up, so this is really good timing. 4,000 for the buyers at the moment. It's no record bottom price. Record bottom prices are standing on 1,500 at the moment. You see 90,000 and 37,000. Let's take a quick look how much there's been sold on average per day here. Quite of a large amount. You see there's 116,000 been sold here 3 days ago. 72.51. These orders can get fulfilled. Depends on the amount of sales, but they can get both fulfilled in 1 day, max 2 days. And you can get this flight interface circuits really cheap. But I'm pretty sure more orders will come in very soon on this. So good price currently on the flight interface circuits. Well, the capacitor consoles. Let's go at least to the graph. Not doing anything weird here, really stable for the whole week. See a small drop here at the end of that, but quite stable price for the whole week. No movement, sales amount staying pretty much the same. So quite stable on here. Coming in at 32,665, but that's a little bit small amount. Well, for more than 500 units, we're sitting pretty much at the same price for that on the seller side, and 29,000 on the buyers. You see also here a small drop on that, but not too much. Trip power circuits. Oh, it's a flash outside, not sure. So if you hear some rumbling maybe, they'll probably have a thunderstorm. Alright, so power circuits, somewhere in the beginning of the week they start making a little bit of an uptrend on price, being flat for 15,000 for 2 days on there. Sales here straight away, sales spiked up a little bit, price came down already, dropping back to 13,500 per unit. Dropped the lowest yesterday at 12,500, we're already today back to 12,800 on that. So a little bit of movement in the prices here. On average we can pretty much say we are making still a little bit of a drop on prices here. Going slow, but it is still dropping. 13,296 for the sellers, 12,602 on the buyer side. Also this is still making a drop. Hope my video stays recording fine. Switching to next. I'm running 2 graphics cards, but 2 different ones. Then we're gonna take a look at Plex. A lot of people are really interested, of course, in the Plex prices, where this is going. Plex is still going quite steeply up in price, hitting almost a 1.2 billion per Plex. Fast uptrend on that. Here we see quite of a drop in price today on Plex. Quite of a steep drop. Is dropped about 50 million is per Plex. Yeah, in 1 day time. So well, 40 at least on the average price has gone down a bit. I hope this is not going to indicate that we're now going to get a huge drop on Plex. I know the changes has been shown about Plex on CC. I know that it's already there visible. So this might have an indication that Plex is going to drop. Everybody says as soon as change is gonna come through, Plex will plummet down on price. That's what a lot of people talking about, that it's gonna drop. First seen a spike and then we're gonna drop, and we're seeing already quite of a 40 million drop in price here within 1 day. That's already quite of a quick movement all there. So are we might gonna see already a drop in Plex price? Who knows? Then again, there are Plex sales going on so far, I know. So this is probably gonna push the Plex price down too. For the sellers, we're sitting at 1 billion 15 million, 150 million on the sales there. It's already making quite a drop, and you can see on the buyer side, it definitely has come down in price here on the buyer side. 1 billion 80 million currently on the buyer side. Plex is dropping quite fast here. Compared to last week, Plex was still 1 billion 145 million. So Plex is making a dive down. Keep an eye on it. It's not really good news because I still have Plex lying around. Haven't put them on the market. I was hoping the price will go up more. It looks like I'm now too late, and I need to keep hold of them on those Plexes. So Plex making a dive down on the price. Then we take a look at drone parts. We know indeed the fluids for the drones went quite quick up last week. 1, 2, 5, 7. Last week's prices were around here. Still last week. I should put some kind of red line on this so it makes it more visible where it is. So Plex prices went quite quickly down on here, quite quickly up all the way, and then straight away drop back down again. It looks like we're going back down towards a normal price around the 87,000. Sitting at 130,000, 120,000 for yesterday. Quick spike up and then a drop in price again. I think this may have even more effect during the weekend. Starting to go down even more. 143,000 currently for the sellers and 120,000 for the buyers. So fragments, not anything happening here really. We're seeing a small downtrend for the last 2 days, but then again, 4 or 3 days ago we saw a little bit of a spike on sales, probably pushed the price up on that. I think this will crawl back up during the weekend towards pretty much of 180,000 on average. 195,000 currently for the sellers and 130,000 for the buyers. Drone corner units. Also here we made a little bit of an uptrend already. Last week on the price jumped a little bit up towards a maximum of 4.5 million per unit. Not a bad price. We're already seeing now dropping back down again. It's already quite stabilizing on the price, sitting at 3.3 million per unit for like 4 days already. 5th day we're slightly higher. So this looks to be quite stable price at the moment, but it can go both ways during the weekend. 3.8 million for the sellers, 3.3 million for the buyers. On shielding chunk, we see pretty, it's all over the board. High and low, it's really, looks quite big difference. But I can say now it's not. No, there is a big difference. Average price 51,000 per unit. And the lowest price 10,000 per unit. It's quite of a gap between them. That's a 40,000 difference at least between those two. Going back up here again to 30 now, so it looks like the sellers are starting to drop in price here. They're definitely making quite of a drop here on the price. Going already slightly back up here today. It can, I don't know where it's going, but on average I think we're still gonna keep on the drop. We may see a small spike here in the weekend, because this one is already slightly going up, but I don't expect a lot on that. Expecting more to start going down. 37,898 for the sellers and 25,000 currently for the buyers. Relay wiring, a small uptrend here during pretty much for the whole week on price. Was quietly slow up on the price for 8,699 current average price, while the beginning of the week seeing out about 7,800. It's almost 1,000 up per unit. Sales already starting to spike here a little bit in the middle of the week, but died off for the last 3 days, which definitely is pushing the price a little bit more up on that. But this have quite a good chance to go a little bit further up during the weekend on that. 11,700 currently for the sellers, 8,000 for the buyers. Quite of a margin in here. Tactical limp, not much tactics happening here on that. Quite stable, pretty much for 1.5 weeks already, sitting pretty flat at the 18,100 per unit. So a really stable price on that. Yeah, we did made a small drop during the week from 20 to 18, so about a 2,000 drop still. But not really any tactics here on the tactical limp, so I think it has a short circuit or something. But not much tactics. 28,000 just below that on the sellers, 18,500 currently for the buyers. Elite drone AI still on the drop here. Last week we went slightly made a slight up in the price. After that, we made also a little bit of a drop then, and we're continuing to drop on during this whole week. Going down on price. You see the sales went still quite high here. Definitely put some more pressure on the price. And for the last 3 days the sales pretty much start dying off on that. And makes the price drop. It dropped below the 3 million for today. The other days hasn't been below the 3 million yet. But definitely expecting this one to drop a little bit more during the weekend on the price. 3.4 million currently for the sellers, about 2.6 million for the buyers. There's also a million difference in there. Fuel. Helium fuel block is starting to slowly crawl back up in price again. You can clearly see here, starting to crawl back up again. At least in the beginning of the week, we went up to 23,000 plus on that. Stayed there pretty much for 3 days on a row. Yesterday we're starting to see a small drop because there seems to be some supply coming towards the market again on the fuel. And then here we made even more of a drop on that. But it's already starting to pretty much stabilize again. We might, during the weekend, we might see another drop because people maybe doing like a week production, put everything to the market in a weekend. But if you look at this graph, people are doing some kind of production for a long time, then stuff comes to the market, we see these volume spikes, then dies off again. That's clearly an indication that people may be producing a large amount at once, and it all comes to the market at once. What of course puts all the time some pressure on the prices, but not always. but we are climbing a little bit up. We may see a drop during the weekend or an uptrend. It's not quite sure on all that. 22,850 currently on the sellers, 19,500 currently for the buyers. Hydro fuel is still on the drop, but I see a slightly higher price for today's price. Sales amount are a little bit above average really at the moment, but we're seeing a little bit of an uptrend here on the price, which has gone down pretty much for the whole week, only today higher. But if I need to guess what this is going to do for in the weekend, I give more of a chance that's going to drop than on price. It is a quite good price. Still on that, it's higher than we came from. It the highest was here 22, yeah, but pretty much back at the same price, only 1,000 higher. So after this huge spike here on the fuel blocks, 23,500 currently for the sellers and 20,500 for the buyers. Nitrogen fuel, we saw already a little bit. There's not too much on the market. Went a little bit up on price during the week. Went up to 25,500. Sitting there for just over 3 days. Oh, it's getting dark here. So went up. We're seeing a small downtrend at the price here for the last 2 days. Cause the price is quite high still here for nitrogen fuel. But yeah, it's hard to say. I give them more of a chance that's going back towards a normal price. Good evening. Price on that. So expecting a little more of a downtrend on the weekend for the price. Still, supply is a little bit short. 25,500 currently for the sellers. 23,800 on the buyer side. Oxygen also not too much on the market. We see definitely some supply came here towards the market during this week at the 27. Came a supply towards the market, pushed the price down on there to 21,500 per unit. But see already straight away next day back up to the 24,500 per unit, where it came from. But now we're starting to make a drop on the price here. So 5-day, 20-day, both are definitely starting to make the drop on that. Expecting this one more to start dropping during the weekend and maybe some on the next week too. It came from a quite low price anyway. If I look here, came down from 20,000. It's not too bad on that, so a little bit higher than it was. 23,000 currently for the sellers. 20,000 for the buyers. So quick look, if you want to need some quick fuel in, the cheapest fuel will be helium. Helium is currently the cheapest fuel, but quite close followed by the oxygen. It's not too much different in that, unless this one gets sold out. Then we see quite a price increase here, and definitely helium will be cheaper. If you have time and you need to buy it in, then you're gonna have the same price. So overall, helium fuel is currently the cheapest fuel to get to run your citadel or engineering complex on that. Then we go on some PI. Not too many broadcast nodes on the market. We already saw an increase a little bit last week, upping up to about 2.2 million almost. Stayed pretty much flat for the whole week. I see only here for 3 days ago we've seen a little bit of an uptrend to 2.3 million on average price. Then straight away come back to 2.1 million, lower than it was on that. But for today already again an uptrend in price. If you can get a price again just below the 2.3 million. You see quite a lot of movements here in the price. Get a little bit unstable, you saw already. Go to the data. There's not a huge amount on the market. Most orders are quite old. I guess there's not even an order in here that is less than 24 hours old by the looks of it. So this indicates that we are not getting any new supply currently towards the market of broadcast nodes, and that we're gonna see probably quite soon an increase in price for broadcast nodes. Currently 2.3 million for the sellers, 2.1 million for the buyers. I'm expecting this one to start going up unless there's a supply coming towards the market. Integrated gritty response drones. Not really any story here. Pretty stable on price. We see a little bit of a downturn on the 20-day price. On that 5-day went slightly up during the week, little bit jump up to about 2.7 million. By the lowest here on the 27, 2.4 million on that. Also today 2.6 million, slightly lower, but on average we're staying pretty much around the same prices, around the average price around to 2.6 million. Quite stable on that, not really huge amount of movement. Again here, not too much coming to the market. There's this order is less than 24 hours old, at least. That's about the only one at the moment. This one is also less than 24 hours old. I need to check really what times you could all set it up. But also here, not too much on the market. Might indicate we're gonna get a shortage on that soon. At least 2.7 million for the sellers, 2.5 million for the buyers. Expecting also this one to start going up in price. Nano Factory is already doing that. It's already starting to go quite quickly up in price. I did not really expect this increase on price really. We already saw apparently last week already a little bit of an increase, but it did not expect this one to keep on going on that. It's a really nice increase here on that 1.2 million. We came from about 1 million. That's a 200,000 increase, almost heading towards the 300,000. Not sure if we're gonna reach that, depending on how much there's on the market. 1.2 million came low, came one day quite low to below 1 million even, 980,000 on that. It's quite a drop here. Nothing wrong with the sales here, but it just some orders got fulfilled that pushed the price quite low here. But the next day straight away back up above the 1.2 million, 1.24 even, sitting clearly above the 1.2 million. Quite of an increase. I think this might go even up a little bit more during the weekend on that. And then we probably next week gonna see a little bit of a drop because people are weighing off in the weekend, seeing the price go up and then suddenly everything's dropped on the market. 1.2 million for the sellers, 1.1 million still for the buyers. Organic motor applications, also this side is going up in price. And for the 1.2 million on this highest here on the 27, there always seems to be a certain day that prices are really starting to jump up on there. So 1.2 million on the highest, we're seeing now with 1.1, that's still just below the 1.2 even on that. I think a lot of people are holding on, or there's just no sales. There looks more like there are no sales on that on the market for that. 1.2 million for the sellers, also there's only one page available yet. There are some coming in here. The first three are less than 24 hours old. There's another one here, so there's some stuff coming in here definitely on that. 1.1 million for the buyers. Then recursive computing module. Also here we're seeing an uptrend. We already saw the uptrend last week because we had a huge amount of sales. Looks like more on buy up on the market because it pushed the price up to 2 million earlier this week. It's quite a push up of that. We see already it making a drop down towards 1.8 million. 1.8 small uptrend yesterday to 1.9. Still 1.9 on average for today. So it was a quite jump up here because this sales amount that we have here Oh, I might not even record a cursor, by the way. I just think about that. I was used for the other recording script. Okay, you have to do it without the cursor. So quite of a jump up here and then coming back down again on that. So moving a little bit around on those prices. 1.9 million currently for the cells. We have still a decent amount here on the market. It's quite a large amount here, but that's already heading towards the 5 million. So it's not too bad on that. Amounts, there's a decent amount coming in here at just under 2 million. 1.7 currently for the buyers. Self-harmonizing power cores. There was not a lot on the market. We could see that quickly. You can also see clearly here on the prices. Quite like in 3-4 days time we jumped up from 2.2 million to 2.5 million. Quite a quick jump up, quite steep one too. It really took them like 3 days to get up there. Then we see here clearly the difference between buyers and sellers. 2 million on the low, 2.5 million almost at the buy. On the seller side, on the buyer side we're sitting at the 2, on the seller side sitting pretty much at the 2.5 million. See a small drop in here, so it looks like a new order came in, pushing a little bit off the price. 2.4 million for the sellers. Like I said, there's not too much on the market here, and 2.3 million for the buyers. Quite close together, so the buyers are already catching up a little bit with the shortage here. Sterile conducts. Huge sales here on the market, went up in price. Then we're going clearly back up here, quite high to about 1.6 million. Oh, it came from 1.3 million. It's 300,000 up in the price. Not a bad price for that. Yeah, but yesterday we dropped even suddenly to 1.2 million. So the buyers are sitting quite low. Did not really respond to this high up here. This price probably will come down quite quickly again towards more of a normal range from each other on there. It's already coming down to about 1.5 million currently on the seller. See, definitely some new orders coming in already on that side, and 1.4 million, 1.3 on the buyer side. Redware mainframe, also here we're seeing an uptrend in the price. Pretty much the same story. Also sales went up, price went up on that. Came as high as about 2.5 million. Well, we came from 2.3 million, 200,000 difference on that. Definitely a little bit up than 2.4, 2.4. There's also another 2.4 on that. Sitting slightly higher. I don't expect this one to go much up anymore. More like it's to come down. Just yeah, 2.5, 2.4 on the seller side. 2.4 at least on the buys. The margin is really small on these. So it's or the buys are going up or the sellers are dropping too much in price. But if I look at the graph, the highest that we came was about 2.5 million. So I think they're both heading towards more closer together. Tier 1 ships still only got the cargo in it. Not too much on the market here still, but it does not push the price up. Well, that's not true. If you look at the 5-day average, it went up here to the highest price of about 10.5 million. Slowly dropping here, but we definitely see now still a little bit of shortage on the market. We definitely see now for the last 2 to 3 days the price starting to increase again to about 9.2 million today's average price. This might go up a little bit more during the weekend to head more towards I hope more above a 10 million price for that, but that's a really better price I think for the cargo. I don't know out of my head what the build price is around for the cargo. Cannot see it, don't have the fresh spreadsheet open. It has a 10-20 seconds loading time, so I'm not gonna open it. So cargo jumping a little bit back up on price for that. on the market. They are selling for about 9.3 million currently on the seller side. On the buyer side, we're seeing about 8.5 million. So this was this week's look at the amarr market. I'll make sure I have the cursor back next week again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm missing the cursor. Let me check that out. Yeah, we're definitely missing the cursor. I disabled that for reasons. So yeah, we'll be back next week. I was trying to record this in 60 FPS, but I can see OBS is struggling a little bit to keep it at 60 FPS. Quite hard even. So I will scale it down back to 30 next week to make it more stable. So I hope the recording is fine. We're sitting on average about 35 FPS on the recording. The game is running like flat at 60, but the recording is not keeping up really with that. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you want to help me out more on get this going, this video harder, more views, please like the video, share it wherever you can. I don't care if you do it on forums from your corp or alliance. Help me out. I really would appreciate that. So thanks for watching and fly safe.